And all the Kingsmen said, yes. What's up, y'all? How you doing? This is the Kingsmen podcast, and this is episode 7.
7 already?
7.
Look at that.
Yeah. I just want to tell you that I'm starting to get to the age where I feel like my uncles.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, like back in my day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sports is starting to, I don't know if it's me or if it's really the sport that I'm starting to kind of get a little watered down. Fouls all over the place, people falling down.
Well, well, shout out to the Knicks first of all.
The Knickerbockers.
But the Knicks, I remember, were throwing the Miami Heat into the crowd and
Starks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I remember about the Knicks. That's not happening nowadays, is it?
Nah. Well, they're doing a lot of throwing, but
yeah,
just buckets these days.
Right, which is what counts.
But seriously though, toughness really changed. The foul baiting. Funny thing is, I'm at my son's game the other day. There's a parent there. He's like, SGA. And I'm like, man, you don't want to become the spokesman for foul baiting.
Right.
You know, but that's what it's coming to.
Yeah. I mean, they make the rules. You play the game by the rules, you know. It's just interesting because it does seem like everything was a lot more hardcore back then. I mean, I remember growing up playing as a kid, the only rule on the court or the alley or whatever was no blood, no foul.
Well, that's tough. I remember it. I was little hearing that, but I remember that. But I also did see, you know, people get clotheslined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it gets out of hand and
going up in the air, and I mean those are foul, but that's like an apparent foul.
Mm-hmm.
The fouls today are so tic-tac, you know, play through the contact type, and they say, well, this is the finals. It's the playoffs. They're letting them play a little bit.
Let them play.
Like, are they? he brushed past his arm, and they called a foul. They're letting him play through it.
Yeah,
I don't know, but yeah, I don't want to be that guy, but I just know it kind of relates to life today.
Mm-hmm.
We're a lot more softer in today's time, and that's about everything.
Yeah.
So
I mean, people have an opportunity everybody has an opportunity to voice their opinion, you know, and it seems like a lot of times the loud minority are the ones that get things done. You know, they say the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Squeaky wheel gets the oil, yep.
You know, and so it's kind of turned, I think, things away from where most people would like to see it. As far as toughness of the game, and like, I'll be honest with you, I'm a Bears fan, you know, as best I can be, but
right.
when the Saints got caught for what they were doing and, you know, paying to bang players up, I was like, I like that.
That's tough.
Like, it's football, you know?
Yeah, I mean, so at the end of the day, obviously, what you want to keep in mind is that you want players to make it home. Like, that's the reason why.
And you don't think something like it's going to really happen.
Well, that was more towards that, you know, when you're paying to intentionally go low and, you know, lead with a shoulder hit like that. It's like you don't want another man to make it home to his family and eat the way he's supposed to, just like you are.
Right.
I mean, you guys, well, what we just found out was really that, you know, athletes are living check to check too.
Yep.
If they're not saving and investing their money in the right things right away, they're living off of the check, paying taxes in different states and things like that. And football makes even less than basketball. So, yeah, I mean, I get you. You like how tough it is and how hardcore it is. But I mean, we save that for video games, like
NFL Blitz.
Yeah, Blitz. But man, a question I got is, in today's time, man, are men expected to endure less while carrying more pressure?
I think it's interesting. I think that you know, I saw a video online the other day. Alex Hormozi was interviewing Tony Robbins, but about 2 minutes into it, it was the other way around. And you know, I didn't catch this video until maybe a couple weeks after it came out, but it's on some random channel. and it's not on his channel anymore. And I guess he took it down, and without an announcement, without an explanation. But people are speculating, and after you watch that video, the interview, you see him in a light you've never seen him before. Very vulnerable. He's a businessman, very successful, very stoic, very intelligent, and he was just a raw, cut open man. With
Right.
Tony Robbins with a great heart and just trying to do better for him. But it felt like it was what's necessary. But what I could only imagine is that it might have been taken down because it hurt the brand, because it doesn't look good for a strong man to look vulnerable. And
That's tough.
as a lot of men might be able to relate to that, I think that there is a huge amount of people and consumers even that may look at that and then look down at somebody or no longer resonate with them because they look at somebody as a hero.
Sure.
And-
Well, with him especially, he's got. It seems like he doesn't have his worth tied to his income. You talked about them taking it down because it looked weak, but he's a guy who's just like, he's running on sheer,
yeah.
just wanting to do something or wanting to solve a problem, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's not even 40 years old, doesn't need to work again a day in his life,
Yeah.
But, and again, that's me kind of just speculating. He didn't make any announcement about it, but I could imagine that there are times where, successful men do things like that, or maybe hold back on certain things because part of the image is good for business. That's just where we're at in today's age.
So what are some pressures that you think men carry without being checked on?
Yeah, I think there's this idea, and it's true, right? Like, I think it's all valid. And so I heard that there is, there's a phrase that says good is the enemy of great, right? And so part of how I understand that, what I understand that to mean is that, like, for somebody who wants to be successful in life, you're not sacrificing like Netflix and donuts. Like, you're going to sacrifice good things, And so there is truth to the idea of, like, everybody's going through something, right? And so I think men struggle with the fine line between, like, how do I confide in a brother versus how am I just complaining about my life to him when he's probably going through stuff too. Because the last thing you want to do is have a bunch of men standing around holding
That's good.
a bag of crap talking about which one smells worse.
That's good. Yeah.
But so how do you differentiate between just somebody complaining about their stuff versus somebody really needing to process and find somebody to sharpen, right? Because iron sharpens iron.
Yeah. So the solutions are there. You just got to find the right place and to find the right community, which the Kingsmen podcast, we've got the community for you. Our last event, we had Stanley Buford.
Amazing. Yep.
I mean, the questions kept coming, man, from the audience. Very, very powerful speaker, minister, man of God, author of 42 books. 44, right? But 42 officially.
Yeah.
Got
Two on the way.
Two in the hopper. Two in the hopper. And he touched on so many things. And so I think it is great to have community and to be around a place or a space where there are answers being poured. There are solutions that are being made. Because you're right, man. Standing around with your bag of crap and his bag of crap and his bag of crap, and nobody having the crap container. Nobody having that crap bearer to take it all in and dispose of everyone's crap. Yeah, I think that's what more men need in today's time. So our next event, it'll be put right here, right down on the screen. You'll see our next live event where we have 50 guys come together and we talk money, mindset, and how to lead your household. Can't wait to see you guys there.
Now, I know that, so something I'm interested to understand, right? Because I think when it comes to men, from going from being a boy to a young man to a man is having a moment, and it may not be one moment, but there being a time where you realize and you accept responsibility, like, of being a man. And I remember as a kid, a huge thing in my household, because I'm the only boy, right? I got a ton of sisters, was the man of the house. And every time my dad was gone to work, which was a lot, because he had a lot of mouths to feed, my mom was always like, well, now you're the man of the house. And I just, like, put this, pride in my chest. You know what I'm saying? What was it like for you? Because we both have, our oldest sons are teenagers, right? And I'm asking you this question because I have an answer for myself.
Yeah.
But what was it like for you when you found out you were going to be a father?
Mhm.
And when in there, was it, during the pregnancy? Was it while he was a baby? Or at what point did the weight of the responsibility, when it was no longer just about you, like, did it hit you, and how'd you process that?
Got it. That's a good question, but I believe that much like you alluded to, my training came young. So my mom had 3 at first, which was my older brother, then me, and then my younger brother. So I was a middle child, but I felt like the oldest my whole life. My older brother, he's 2 years older, but he's not the most responsible. I had the key to the house. I was responsible for letting us in. I spoke up for us on our behalf on everything involving school, work, finance, anything. And then most importantly, when I got everyone in, I was the one that had to cook. So I made sure that the house was good. I made sure that everybody cleaned up. Hey, these are our roles for the day. These are our chores. Come on, let's get it done. Hey, you're falling short on yours. Here, I'll help you, but like I got work to do, and so I fell into that naturally. Funny thing is that when I got with my wife, she asked me how many kids I wanted. I said 10. And I asked her, how many kids do you want? She said 6. And I said, well, okay, well, we can meet in the middle somewhere. Like, so I'm looking forward to about 8 kids. Just want everybody to know. But I've always it's always been in me, man. And not that I came from a big fan. Oh, by the way, my mom then went on to have 2 more children 12 years later. So we were pretty much almost out the house before my younger brother and only little sister were coming up. But even still, like, I pretty much helped raise them. And my dad was there. My dad was in the house. Actually, they have his last name. I don't. I have my dad's first name, but not his last, because they weren't married. My mama, she wasn't playing that.
Yeah.
But my younger 2 siblings, they were married at the time, and so they have his last name. I've always been in that role. One thing that I've just took pride on, and maybe that this is why I was thrust into leadership, is that, like, I want to make someone else's life better because of my life, or what the things that I've been through, or what I'm seeing. How can I shift your life into a better situation? And so I think I've always been that way, man. And so my want for kids, more boys especially, I got 4 boys, is just to be able to say I had an imprint on this world in a positive way. And I put a positive impact in the world by showing these young men how to become men.
Yeah. That's awesome. So I think for me, man, so me and my dad were, really close, because I was the only boy with so many girls. And if you would have asked me when I was like 10, 11 years old, what do you want to be when you grow up, I would have said a father. You know? But my oldest son, I was like 24 when he was born. And I just remember, like, being in a state of shock for a couple of days, and just kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It might be a little cheesy, but I'll be honest with you. But the only way I can describe it is it almost felt as if like I realized I was stepping into a new identity, almost like Moses finding out, like, I'm about to be the prince, or, again, cheesy analogy, but my point is that, like, I realized I was stepping into something, and it was unavoidable, and it was happening, and it's something I always wanted, but I wasn't sure I was ready for it.
Sure.
So, but to me, it's the most fun thing in the world, very challenging.
Such is life.
Yeah, 100%. And I just think it's so important, so with Stanley, one thing that I resonated with Stanley, and he reminded me of so many men that I could think of throughout my childhood that just understood the value of, being very intentional and being around the youth in the community. I remember the Boys and Girls Clubs, growing up in Logan Square, right up there off Wrightwood, by the Eagle in Logan Square. I think it was called ICP. Lock-in basketballs all night long. And I thought we were just playing basketball, but now I look back and I realize, like, we were reading the Bible, and so, a lot of young men just getting really involved in the community and seeing how important it was, especially in Chicago, man. It's just, we see what's going on out there. It's crazy.
outside is really crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of outside, man, these prom send-offs, man, they have been elaborate. And hats off to everybody that's been spending their money the right way.
How long have prom send-offs been a thing? What do you think?
So I mean, I don't want to give when I went to prom, but let's just say it was over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Over a decade ago. But I think prom send-offs have always been a thing. So it's not new, but it's like, I don't know when it really got to the point where it's like, oh, it's a must.
It's
You gotta
bigger than
be,
prom.
yeah, you've got to be spending, a couple thousand to go off. And so, one of the things that I think about anyway with the prom send-offs, because no matter how elaborate it is, if you've got it, go. You got the money to blow it.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I think about is just, it's like, what's really the point in today's time, because everything is social media.
Mm-hmm.
I guess back in my day, crazy. I guess back in my day, if the prom send-off was going to be elaborate, it was because there were going to be a couple different students, a couple different teenagers going off from this one place. Wow, it's a
Rent
huge
limo,
thing.
Everybody go together.
Yeah, limo. Everybody wants to show off what they have.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're flexing money. This, that,
Take
whatever.
the Polaroids out.
Yeah, all that, whole nine, whole shebang.
Right.
But for a single person, no date, just a single person,
Mm-hmm.
you got to rent the most expensive car you can. You already have to wear the most expensive thing, should be draped in diamonds. You should have some kind of bust down watch.
With some cash in hand.
Gotta have cash in hands. Can't be ones, no fives, no tens.
Right.
The lowest you can do is 20s.
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of them.
And a lot of them. Hundreds, preferably.
Yeah.
But all this for no one to see you except a couple family members, not the actual people you're going to prom with. So,
Right.
like, the actual people you're going to prom with, they may be having their own send-offs or not.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get to prom, it's a glorified school dance, the last one that you guys are going to have all as a group. And that's it. But we make it so much more than that because, I don't know, keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah. I mean, and it's crazy, right? Because, I think a lot of times, too, with proms, especially, there's a lot of local businesses that get involved. So somebody that's doing hair, doing makeup, it's a cousin, a friend, and so that's good, too, right?
Yeah, it's good for the economy.
It's good for the local economy, but even sometimes that can get dicey. You saw that, what happened here in Chicago,
Oh, yeah.
Even people are taking advantage of it.
Oh, yeah. There
know.
was a lady who was making dresses,
Well, she wasn't.
who was supposed to be making
That's
dresses.
right, yeah.
And all those people are looking for the dress or their money back.
Yeah,
And the money's gone. No dresses.
right.
Yeah.
And so we're putting all this effort into, what I hear you saying is putting all this effort into what? And for what?
Yeah.
Because, all that's cool, but come June, July, August, what does it matter anymore?
Yeah.
To think about capturing moments back in our day.
Yeah.
There was an album cover, or there was an album on the coffee table in the living room, or at least in a cabinet, and it would get pulled out, and you would look back at it. But now, come August, there's a new thing on your feed, and no one's going back to your page
Sure.
to see what you were doing in May.
Sure.
That you spent all this money to,
Yeah.
to get all this attention for.
Yeah. And so to be clear, because I don't want to, sound like a sourpuss about
Sure.
it. I believe that going off on prom with your best is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's got to be some protection behind it, because we got a tragic story here. How this family spent thousands and thousands, maybe $10,000 just to send their son off on prom, and he's fly.
Mm-hmm.
He unfortunately didn't make it home that night.
That's crazy.
And now there's a GoFundMe up. Yeah. With this GoFundMe being up, people are questioning, am I giving to this? Am I really going to give to a GoFundMe when they just balled out hard for a prom send-off? So it's like, obviously what happened is it's a complete tragedy. But when you don't have your ducks in a row like that, it makes that seem like, why did you do it?
Yeah. I mean, and it's no judgment, right? You know, condolences and all that. Not just these kind of things happen all the time.
Yeah.
But it's just who is in our ear in our community, having us put the right things in order in our families' finances and in our communities, because the fact of the matter is, if there is no guidance, if there is no counsel, if there is no, for lack of a better word, system in place when it comes to how we should be not only raising but preparing our children for the future,
No, absolutely.
then the priorities are out of order.
No, absolutely. And for me, I mean, I only brought it up because I'm, you know me, I'm a crusader for GoFundMe. Because GoFundMe originally was a crowdfunded source for small businesses. Yeah. And now all you see are funerals. The only thing you'll see on GoFundMe today are funerals or donating to, help maybe a cancer survivor or something like that. It's still a good platform. It's so far removed from what it was originally made for. Yeah. And these instances, life insurance becomes way more of a stronger platform. It becomes no longer something that's like a luxury. It becomes a necessity.
Yeah, and I think a lot of I've seen a lot on social media, life insurance agents take this approach of like war against GoFundMe. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think there's some times where it even makes sense to use GoFundMe even if somebody has it, because like if somebody's going through something, people want to help. Yeah, they want to contribute. They want to serve. Yeah. And even if it's not money, hey, can I pick up the kids for a couple days? Can I bring you some groceries? Can I, meal trains? And so I think it can be a great way to allow the community to like, whose heart is bent towards a tragedy, to contribute. But when you're depending on it, that's the issue. Sure.
Yeah. The dependency. Yeah. Yeah. And so, like I said, with that scenario, it's like people are questioning, you as a person. How are your spending habits? Why did you go and spend $10,000 on a prom send off, but you couldn't spend $40 or $50? Like some people will feel that way, and so it's a double-edged sword. Obviously, it's something that is meant to help, but that's just like the boy who cried wolf. The story of the boy who cried wolf is he kept saying wolf, wolf, wolf. Yeah. The people kept running. They ran to him. And what was it, the third or fourth time when he cried wolf? Yeah. They were like, he's just saying it. There's really no wolf. Yeah. Here it is. You really need help this time, but we don't know it because you made it happen for that prom. Right. In the amount of thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah. One of my good friends, he's a real estate investor from the south side of Chicago. And, he has a saying. He says, you can't say that you're from the block, that you own the block if you don't own any doors.
That's tough.
So it's like, what are we doing in our communities if we really care about our communities, our neighborhoods, whatever the case may be, to get back and own these things?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And to put ourselves in a position where, we have so much pride, especially Chicago, right? It's so ethnically, I don't say segregated, defined.
Right. Right.
But it's not always a bad thing. Sure. Because there's so much culture. And
yeah, but we are a proud people, man.
100%.
In Chicago, in general, yeah, you're right.
And you go to Chinatown, the signs are in Chinese. You go to Humboldt Park. You cannot find a Starbucks between the flags. Oh yeah. Because you came for some real café con leche.
Oh yeah.
But what are we doing to make sure that this neighborhood can get passed down to our children? Right.
Where's the emergency fund?
All those things.
Where's the life insurance? Where are we talking about when we say ownership? Where is it? Are we leaving assets versus just leaving bills? Yeah. Yeah. That's a really thought-provoking thing.
Yeah. Because the reality is that it's like I was in Peoria a couple weeks ago. Okay. Give me a number. What do you think was the average house price? I went on Zillow real quick.
In Peoria?
Yeah.
300,000.
I had to go through 20 to 25 houses before I found one that was going for $100,000.
What'd you say?
20 to 25 before I found one house that was even at $100,000.
Peoria?
But it won't be that way 20 years from now. It won't.
Yeah.
Right? Bolingbrook was a truck stop off 55, thriving today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and it's do we have the foresight? Do we have the patience and discipline to see forward like that? Because there's other people, corporations, that look at our communities. They see that potential, right? So they're making the investments.
Sure.
You know, they're making the investments with our childhood homes, with our
that's good.
corner
That's good.
stores and things like that. But we got to start making those moves ourselves.
Yeah. So it makes you think, like, what if I purchase this year that moves forward, that pushes the needle in my family or in my community?
Right. And so having the ability to, another issue with our communities too is like, well, I only live once.
Yeah, YOLO.
We're all gonna die one day. You know, but it's just that mindset's never served us. You know, and how are we really taking care of our kids and just breaking these cycles of handing down options. You know, I sat down with this lady, where is she from? Maryland, Virginia, somewhere around there. 57 years old, right? Going through her finances. And she said that her grandmother gave her Coca-Cola stock when she was 12.
Nice.
She goes, I'll live off the interest. I'm like, I just had to clap.
Wow.
Good for grandma. Good for grandma.
Wow. Because that's hilariously funny and mind-blowing.
Yeah.
We need more of those things because I believe that we have more things coming out of our account
right
than giving into our accounts. Like we've got some subscriptions. We have no idea when we even signed up for this, but it's coming out every month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just because we don't have any like clear direction when it comes to like our goals and what we're trying to accomplish. And let me say this: I don't mean like I'm saying there's some of us because our communities are doing a great. Like a lot of people in our communities are doing amazing and are doing phenomenal things. And these are the people that have broken past those obstacles and those curses. But we still have a long way to go. We have a long way to go. And I'm very proud of the people in our communities that have broken through those barriers.
Oh, yeah.
We just got to make it normal and make it to where now they're not the exception anymore. You know, like I was in Linwood, 198th Street.
Oh, yeah.
Those houses. I mean, but all these people were from the South Side.
Yeah.
Came from 79th Street. You know what I'm saying? Pulled their way out of it, got into corporate, got into education, got into real estate, you know, making good for their lives and are now moving the next generation forward, buying these houses, new constructions. Like, that's what we need to continue to make normal. But the issue is we're moving out of Chicago to do it.
Yeah,
you know?
That's true. Me and my family are in Naperville now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just we need more of these conversations. We need more direction, more guidance. And my son, you know, I'm always checking on him and seeing like, okay, what's the plan now after high school? He's wrapping up his sophomore year.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, all of last year's plan was very clear. I'm going to graduate high school. I don't want nothing to do with college. Okay. I'm going to go to Puerto Rico for a year. No, he's going to work for a year, save 20 grand, go to Puerto Rico, live on the beach, but learn a trade. Right.
Okay.
So I checked in with him the other day and said, okay, so what's the plan now? Right. He's like, I think I'm done with baseball. He's been playing since he was 4. I said, what are you going to do? He has the summer league. What are you going to do after that? I'm just going to work. I just want to make money. Right. And so now I'm like, okay, cool. He's
gonna put baseball to the side.
Put baseball to the side because now he's having that switch in his life where he's like, you know, he wants to always have something, you know, and now he's looking forward past high school and he's like, what position do I want to be in when I'm 18?
I mean, he doesn't feel like he could carry on in baseball. I mean, playing since you were 4, man.
Yeah.
You got some years in the game right now.
Yeah.
You should see if you could go.
Right. No, he's talented for sure, but I don't think his heart's in it. You know, I don't think his heart's in it.
It's the most important thing.
Yeah.
When your heart's not in it, it probably won't work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
These guys that are going professional, baseball, basketball, football, their heart's in it. And now you're starting to see with the NILs
yeah,
if their heart is really in it or if they are just going for the money.
Right.
Those things are getting ridiculous, bro. They are. I just recently found out that they can declare for the college longer.
Like 5 years?
They can stay in college longer for NIL deals.
Oh.
There are players who are going back to college just for NIL.
Super senior?
Senior.
But I mean, think about that. You could be an amazing college player and a average NBA player, or MLB, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but they only have a small window of time to make money, like to make that kind of money. I remember I saw something with Charles Barkley. He was mentioning that. He said he sat down, and I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was Moses Malone or somebody, ahead of his time a little bit, and they were like, he got a big check, and he went out and he said, hey, how many cars you got? I got 6 cars. How many can you drive at one time?
Yeah.
He's like, 1.
Yeah.
Maybe you get 1, maybe 2 cars. He's like, bro, but you only have this small window to make all this money, and it has to last you forever. And Charles Barkley's like, he made some changes, but if it wasn't for TV and everything is done with TNT and NBC and whatever he's working with, it's like I would have been broke. And so 5-6 years in college to make that much money.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You got to look out for yourself. You got to make some money while you're there. And I'm an advocate for making some money once you get to that level. But the kind of deals that they're getting now, man.
Break it down. I'm not too much familiar with that. Like,
all right, so they'll tell you now because they can talk about it. But some of the NBA players will say how they definitely were getting paid
some other way.
Like the coach will, say here's a stipend or something like that. Like they were getting paid money a little bit, or they'll make sure that their family was okay. Like I don't want to say any names because I don't want to go viral for the wrong reason. But I remember seeing like a podcast where they were like, coach definitely made sure that this person got broke off and that person made this money. So I asked, hey, did you get that? And he's like, nah, bro.
But you got to think, like, with these young men, how many people are counting on that guy?
Right.
Everybody.
So that was the reason why the coach, if they knew that person was going to the NBA. It was an interview I seen with Michael Beasley. And so he said that there was a coach who kept receipts of everything that he had ever brought. Like if he bought that guy a McDonald's cheeseburger, he kept the receipt.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was giving money and he knew that he would be going to the NBA, and once he went to the NBA, he pulled out all the receipts.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I invested in you.
So what? Do you want something back?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So average NIL is around $7,100.
Okay.
So that's like per game. $7,100 to $7,300 per game, which is like
what sport?
This is NBA.
Okay.
Elite football.
Because they don't play 82 games in college.
Yeah. So elite football stars can make anywhere between $500,000 and $5 million annually.
That's crazy.
D1.
And they still got to go back to the dorm and study chemistry.
Yeah.
That's wild.
D1 starters usually making it between $5 to $50,000 annually. That's where that 7,100 comes from. A couple games in, I guess. D2 athletes, they make about $500 to $5,000, and then D3, they'll make a couple $1,000. But here, let's do the NBA NIL comparison. Yeah.
And so, what was the fear before, where they wouldn't let these guys get this money? What did they think was going to happen?
I'm not sure if there was a fear as much as there was a let them get to the big stage and earn it.
So kind of have the league as that gatekeep so that they would, because the coaches are making money.
The coaches are
making money.
Colleges are going to make money all the time. The colleges make so much. Like the colleges make, bro, if you think about what goes into a college football game,
mm-hmm.
versus what goes into an NFL game, they're almost identical.
Okay.
Literally, they're almost identical. Other than like the TV sponsors, they're almost identical.
Yeah.
And you got to remember that this is where the pure talent is formed. Like, there's not a lot of forming that you do once you get to the NFL. You're already there. Like, you're either good or you're not. they can mold a little bit. They can tweak some things, but you're already good coming out of college. They pretty much know if you're going to be the guy out of college.
Yeah.
The reason why, and then, so I know I'm kind of switching sports, but let's go from football to basketball. When you graduate college and you get drafted into the NBA, the likelihood of you going to an open gym anywhere and being the absolute king of the court is like 100%.
Right.
100%. They have like ex-NBA players from like 12 years ago that will mop the floor with any regular civilian who thinks that they keep in shape and work out.
Right.
He's like still notches ahead. Jamal Crawford.
Yeah.
He retired a couple years ago.
There was a guy, and when I saw this, they didn't say his name, but he got drafted by the Bulls the year Jordan left. And when he got drafted, he made a comment. He said, "My biggest regret is I wasn't here soon enough to play Jordan." So during the off season, when he's retired, Jordan shows up and does a one-on-one on this kid just to smoke him and go home. He left. He went back to retirement.
Well, you found out, buddy.
Found out.
You found out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here's some more stats on NIL. So typical NIL deal. It's got a $200,000 median, meaning that half of the deal is a little bit below that. Many athletes get free meals, small promos, and local sponsorships.
So other comps.
Yeah. That average NIL deal is roughly about $5 to $7K per game. I guess that's the same stat as up here. Yep. Elite football, about anywhere from $500,000 to $5 million. Top athletes like Archie Manning. Good Lord. He's making about $5 million. That's crazy. He's making about $5 million.
And he has to go to chemistry class.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay, so you have the financial pressure of these young men who have an entire community around them that is depending on them.
Yeah.
Right?
In some cases, not all.
Well, I would imagine
in most cases, yeah.
I mean, what kid is out there?
Arch Manning.
That has the ability to make millions of dollars as a teenager. That a bunch of people aren't like, I need you, bro. You got to come through.
Shador Sanders.
Sure. All right.
Arch Manning.
Yeah, just because of the family. I get it. But that they're not the average kid.
Yeah, no, they're not.
Most kids come from nothing.
That's true.
You know?
There are now, in the NBA, more juniors coming in. You got Tim Hardaway Jr., obviously LeBron James Jr.
Yeah, I mean, now we're in that time, right?
Yeah, Klay Thompson's father played. Steph Curry, his father played. A bunch of others. Pippen, Shaq. Like, they have kids that hit the NBA. So, yeah.
Now, so the NIL I thought was good because it gives more opportunities for these kids that have that pressure, right? But what about the average guy who doesn't have that earning potential?
Yeah, I think NIL is good because it spreads the money around.
Sure.
As opposed to, hey, if you don't make it, or if you were supposed to make it and you freak injury happens the game before you're supposed to declare for the draft. Right, that last game before they go into the off season, and now your stock value is down, or now they're like, nah, we don't want to take a chance on that. These 4 years you've been busting your tail, you weren't paid. Yeah, now you look at your whole life being down the drain, and those type of things stick with you.
Right,
they stick with you. So I think it spreads the money around, because I have heard of some instances where you go to college. 4 years, give it your all,
right,
and then that happens. So now you have a chance to get paid while you're going through it. It's kind of like interning.
Okay.
Paid internship.
Highly paid internships.
Highly paid internships. We need some of those.
Yeah. Sign me up.
Sign me up for sure. Yeah, man. So funny thing is that we started with sports. I guess we can kind of end with sports. We'll dial it back. Bring it back to the Kingsmen. Let's talk about our next one.
Yeah. So we have June 17th, right? Guest speaker.
Guest speaker is going to be Mr. Steven Evans.
Okay.
This guy is a
NIL deal?
Not quite.
Okay.
He's an owner of a couple different saunas.
Nice.
And he's
in Chicago.
So he's in a franchise, and I
Okay.
think he'll be going to Chicago after. He's now in the Naperville area, and he's gonna be branching out. But he's got such a crazy setup. It's dreamy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got this tea. Okay, like I don't want to make it feel like Get Out or anything, but he's got a special house blend that he only gives away for you coming to the sauna. Then he has a line of teas, homegrown. Everything is organic, grown in his garden, and those are for sale.
Now, is he from Chicago?
He's from Chicago.
Okay, so we're gonna learn more about him,
Yeah.
upbringing, how he got to this position.
Serial entrepreneur.
Did his dad handle these franchises?
He's self-made,
Nice.
husband and a father, man of God,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he's going to be a very strong guest coming out.
Yeah,
And so that'll be on the 17th.
I'm excited.
Can't wait for it. And we've got some giveaways too, man. I've already spoke with him, and we got some things we're going to give away to the guys. I don't know if we're going to get on our Oprah level yet. You know what I mean?
You get a franchise. You get a franchise.
Yeah. But we got some pretty cool stuff in store. But yeah, man, this conversation started with basketball, ended with legacy. The NILs can change legacies. We think about changing legacies in today's time. What does it look like? How are you putting money away for your family? I think it's going to be important for us, even with this next podcast coming up, to get it out to the people that you got to have some sort of life insurance, some type of emergency fund, some type of will, trust, some type of plan that's in place. Because one thing I do know is that when you're unprepared and those things come up, you place blame.
Yeah.
And it never comes back to you. So to avoid all that and be a leader in today's time, you get ahead of it.
Right.
So we'll talk about it more.
Love that.
Pressure exposes everything.
Yeah. Pressure exposes husbands.
Yeah.
Pressure exposes athletes.
Oh, yeah.
Pressure exposes fathers, and it definitely exposes leaders.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. So what we want people to do, or men to do, is, be the leader that your family can lean on, not the one that they have to recover from.
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the Kingsman said, oh. We'll see you guys next time.